Hello there, Prairie View Christian Church. Today is Wednesday, May 19th, 2021, and it is time for your midweek update. Recently, the past couple months especially, I found myself thinking that, I'm not sure how useful these midweek updates really are, because for a long time now, it's felt like I haven't had a whole lot to share. We've had a few new events happening, things that haven't happened very much over the past year, but for the most part, these midweek updates have been pretty repetitive. Pretty much the same stuff that we all already know, that we're all quite used to, for better or for worse, over the past 15 months or so. But this week, I do have some pretty important big news to share, and this will be new for all of you. Now, most of you may already be aware, we talked about it, that we had a big elders meeting last night, Tuesday night, May 18th. That meeting's been on the calendar for over a month. We meet once per month. Tuesday, May 18th was our scheduled day. And then last week, Thursday, there was the big announcement from the CDC changing their mask recommendations. And so many people were probably wondering, well, what's Prairie View going to do? Do we have to wear masks this week? And so we told people, hey, just hold on a minute. We've got a meeting scheduled for Tuesday anyway. This is a big conversation. There's lots to talk about. So for this week, Sunday, May 16th, let's keep things the same. We'll have our meeting on Tuesday, and we'll go from there. So we had our meeting last night. We do have some big changes in store. I will tell you about those here in just a moment, but a few quick, small, easy reminders. Number one, Wednesday emails are still going out. So here in a few minutes, that will have this link to this video if you're not watching it on Facebook Live. It will also have a link to this week's devotion. It will also have the RSVP link. We are still asking for Sunday morning RSVPs for now, and I will explain that to you here in just a moment. But for now, we are still asking for RSVPs. I'll explain why here in a minute. So keep an eye out for that Wednesday email. The RSVPs are still helpful to us. On top of that, this coming Friday, we do have our men's breakfast. That happens at 7 a.m. here at the church. If you have any questions, contact Joe Fenimore. We are reading the Gospel of John. We would love to have all men who are interested attending that men's breakfast here at the church. We may even sit outside this week, given the forecast, but we'll see how it goes. So 7 a.m. Friday, men's breakfast. And then on top of that, on Sunday after church, we have our baby shower for the Dinsmores. So if you are interested in supporting and encouraging and celebrating with Caleb and Alyssa Dinsmore as they prepare to welcome a new baby into their home here in just a few weeks, really. By all means, we'd love to have you participate in that. For more information, you can see previous emails from Nancy. You can talk to Olivia Halliburton, Becca Stark, or Megan Coors. They would be happy to tell you how you can celebrate and bless the Dinsmore family and the new baby who will be here really quite soon. So that is happening this coming Sunday, May 23rd, 1:30 p.m. Here at the church. So that's the usual stuff. Here's the big thing that you may be most interested in. If you haven't watched a midweek update for a while, you might be watching this one. So where we are, we would say, the elders and I, and Zach and Mark and Nancy, all of our leaders, I think we all recognize that we're in a pretty fluid place right now with the pandemic. If we look back over the past 15 months, however long this has been going on, that first little period of time was very discombobulated. We all thought that it was the end of the world. We had no idea what was going to happen. Everything was changing so rapidly, and we were all running around like chickens with our heads cut off. And then we had a long period of time where things pretty much stayed the same, where we kind of got used to the fact that, this is how life is going to be for a while. We kind of made peace with that fact for the most part. So for almost a year now, we've been doing Sunday morning church at Prairie View with all these precautions that you are all too familiar with if you've been here. And now we're kind of coming out of that long season of just knowing what it is and having to deal with it. And we're once again in a season of transition, where we're figuring out what life is going to look like after the pandemic. We're figuring out how to start living right now, what changes are in store. We're having to navigate where you have to wear a mask and where you don't have to wear a mask and what the rules are in this place and that place, and it can be a little bit disorienting. So right now, the time that we're in is very fluid. Things are changing rapidly. We went from doing everything the same for a long period of time to now all of a sudden there's new guidance every single week, and it's pretty consequential. So I would just preface all this by saying that things are changing rapidly. Things could be changing rapidly here. I might tell you these updates today on Wednesday, May 19th, and things could look very different on June 19th. So take this with a grain of salt. Be aware that things are changing rapidly, and just because this is how things are on Sunday, May 23rd, or Sunday, May 30th, or Sunday, June 6th, it might not be this way for very long. So keep that in mind. Now with that, let's kind of go through our plan briefly. The big question, of course, is masks. Do we have to wear masks this coming Sunday, May 23rd? And the answer to that is a firm maybe. The reason I say that is that we as a leadership team thought it was wise, appropriate to essentially adopt the most recent CDC guidelines regarding masks to our situation here at church. We have many adults, many kids in a room speaking, singing, sitting here for an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes at a time. Some people are vaccinated, some people aren't. And so because of that, we think it's wise to adopt the CDC guidelines for masks to our Sunday morning situation. So what that means is that we are telling you that if you are vaccinated, you are welcome to take your mask off. You do not have to take your mask off. We are not going to pressure you to take your mask off. Many people have many different reasons for why they may continue wearing a mask even after they're vaccinated. No one's going to judge you for that. But we are telling you that if you are vaccinated, you are welcome to take your mask off. If you are not vaccinated, we are still going to ask that you keep your mask on. That includes unvaccinated adults. That includes unvaccinated kids. So basically any kid between the age of 2 and 12 is going to be masked on Sunday mornings, at least for now at Prairie View. So we are taking those CDC guidelines that we think are wise, that we think are appropriate, that we think apply pretty well to our Sunday morning situation, and we're adopting them here for Sunday, May 23rd, and for the foreseeable future. Now again, that could change. That might be different 6 weeks from now or 4 weeks from now. Is there going to be a time where anybody in this room is going to be unmasked, no matter their age, no matter their vaccination status, whatever? Yes, of course, that is going to happen. And in no universe are we going to be checking people's papers at the door to make sure they're vaccinated. Eventually, we will all be unmasked, anybody who wants to be, but we're not quite there yet. This is a good step, though, we think. We're simply taking those CDC guidelines and applying them to our situation here on Sunday morning. So, that's that. That's May 23rd. That's the masks. If anything changes anytime soon, we will certainly update you on that. That takes us to our next Sunday, which is Sunday, May 30th. On Sunday, May 30th, in addition to the new mask rules that we're putting in place this Sunday, the 23rd, on Sunday, May 30th, we are going to attempt to put our chairs back into some form that resembles what they used to be. We will probably still have kids' tables lined up on the edges of the room, next to the doors, along the walls. More on that here in just a moment. But we're going to have sections of chairs in the middle, like we used to do. We're going to trust people to sit where they feel comfortable sitting. We're going to get rid of the name tags, all that stuff, and trust you to sit where you want to sit. So that's coming on May 30th. And then on Sunday, June 6th, and this is maybe one of the biggest things, we are hoping, we are aiming, we are planning to have Kids Kingdom classes open again on Sunday, June 6th. That depends on a lot of factors. I know one of Zach's big tasks is that he's going to be reaching out to teachers who have taught in the past and gauging their interest and gauging their comfort level with the idea of teaching kids again in the classrooms to my right. So again, that's up in the air. That's going to be a lot of work on Zach. It's going to take a lot of planning. It's going to be a big transition for those volunteers to go from not serving at all for over a year to now getting back into the classroom. But we are hoping, we are aiming, we are planning to try and have kids' classrooms open again in some form on Sunday, June 6th. So that kind of explains where we are for now. May 23rd, CDC guidelines for masks. Until that changes, we will keep doing it. We'll let you know when something does change. May 30th, we're hoping to put the chairs back to something more like we would like it to be. And then on Sunday, June 6th, we have kids, hopefully, back in the Kids Kingdom hallway with teachers. So, those are the big things that we're pretty much 100% sure about. There are a few other things to keep in mind. I mentioned that we are still going to be asking for RSVPs for a little while longer. The biggest reason for that is that as long as we have kids here in the sanctuary, it makes Zach's job a lot easier if he knows how many kids to expect. He's preparing boxes, he's preparing crafts and activities and lessons for kids in the sanctuary, and if he has no idea how many kids to expect, that becomes a big time drain, an energy drain, and resource drain for Zach. So for at least the next few weeks, we are still asking for RSVPs, especially from people who have kids. So please continue RSVPing. On top of that, we're hoping that in the near future, we could have a full band on the stage. That's something we've been talking about for a while. We made a really good change back in early April on Easter Sunday to having Mark and Amy back up here singing in the room live. That's the next step for our music, and hopefully that'll be coming sooner rather than later as well. And then finally, our order of service. It's been weird and awkward for not over a year, but right around a year. And we're hoping to go back to something more like what we're used to in the near future as well. We're hoping to retain some of the things that we liked about the old order of service, but also introduce some new things that we've never done before, or maybe haven't done for a long time. So that could be coming as well. So if you put it all together, 4 Sundays from now, 5 Sundays from now, 6 Sundays from now, things at Prairie View could look pretty darn normal, between a lot of people not wearing masks, between a lot of chairs being put back to where they used to be, and between kids going to classrooms. So we're excited about that. We're happy about that. We also recognize that not everybody's going to be happy with these decisions. Some people will think we're going too fast. Some people will think we're going too slow. And either one of those people could be right. But we are doing our best to discern what is best for this church, what is glorifying to God, what is in the best interest of the kingdom, what is in the best interest of our community, what is in the best interest of the people whom God has entrusted to us to care for. We want to care for you spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and also physically. We don't want to put anybody in a situation that is unnecessarily risky. We don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse. We want to make sure that we're handling this carefully and wisely and taking our time and being patient. So that's pretty much where we are right now. I think that about sums it up. May 23rd, masks in line with the CDC guidelines. I think we all pretty much know what those are by now. May 30th, having chairs back. June 6th, Kids Kingdom coming back in some shape, form, or fashion. And then for now, we ask that you continue to RSVP. We look forward to having a new band, full band, on the stage in the not-so-distant future, and the order of service changing as well. So, that's a pretty big midweek update, but I hope that's all clear. If you have questions, if you have concerns, by all means, feel free to reach out to me or Zach, an elder. We'd be happy to talk more, explain some of why we're thinking this way and how we came to these conclusions. We want to be transparent with you and hear you out. So I think that pretty much covers it. You've heard me talk for long enough. I've talked for long enough. And that concludes our midweek update. So we hope to see you Sunday. Some of you will be masked. Some of you won't be. None of us is going to judge each other for whether or not we're wearing masks or whether or not we got vaccinated. That's not what we're going to do. We're not going to start that. But this Sunday will be a really good step in the right direction, and hopefully the next few Sundays will be big steps in the right direction as well. So that covers it. Have a great week. Hope to see you soon. Take care.